Hi everyone. Uh, viewers, I think a fantastic day for the markets. I think nobody would have imagined such kind of ferocious move, but we always have discussed on the channel that we are moving towards 24,000, 24,200, eventually 24,500, then 25,000. We have been discussing these levels on the channels. Nobody had accepted this. Nobody was believing in these levels, and everybody was saying that first half the market will remain subdued. They cannot rise, and I always told that the market consensus markets are always there to actually shatter your expectations, shatter your anticipations, your assumptions, and that is how the markets are. So, and I'm recording this video at 1 o'clock. So probably I'm discussing how the market is at 1 o'clock. If something happens post that, we'll again look into it. But as of now, the markets are looking ferociously good. They are actually moving in a very, very strong upward trajectory with very strong FII buying. See, FIs are the people who are able to take risk at higher levels. They are the people who can take or who do buying at the higher levels. DIs never do buys at the higher levels. They are conservative. They want to buy stocks at levels which are much comfortable, valuation point of view, etc. All those things. They never take risk of playing momentum. They never take risk of buying stocks at the higher level. So this move are all generated by FIA buying, and probably whatever the stats are showing, this buying should continue, and I'll discuss the reasons why. So first, we'll as usual discuss the global market. So on Friday, anyways, all the markets were closed, but on Thursday night we had again a downfall in the Dow index. It was down around 500 points. That was majorly due to one insurance stock, which was around 22% down. That why that and it has a good weightage on the Dow Jones. That is why Dow Jones were down by around 500 points. Otherwise, the market sentiment overall was not bad. It was pretty okay, and that's the reason why SGS Nifty, in spite of Dow showing 500 point down, it was continuously showing up because there was a positive movement in Nasdaq and S&P, which were looking strong and not weak. But the Dow, because of one stock, it was looking down. The talk of the town dollar index is now below 99. So that's the comfort which the FIs are getting in rotating the money to the equity markets of the emerging markets, and that is what is triggering the huge move. We are seeing today Hang Seng is also up, although Dow futures are down by around 400 points, 300 points or 300 points or down. Still, the markets are moving upward trajectory, and the reason was two splendid results from the banking sector. See, we have always discussed that banking sector will lead these markets going forward. Financials will lead this market going forwards. We had an overall target of 60,000 by this calendar year. I'm pretty sure that target should be achieved. I have no doubts on saying that. And it is again the index which has turned out to be the all-time high, and it has not broken down the all-time high with a small margin. Now it is up by around 2%, and we are expecting some more move. I don't think market should give some respite here. I think market will Nifty Bank probably should do an expiry at above 56,000. I think 56,400 to 500 is the range where we can expect Nifty Bank to go upward, seeing the momentum. The momentum is very high, and the FIs are net long. They when they do this kind of buying, we all know what happens. So China and US, they are fighting at all levels now. Their fighting is becoming very dangerous now. So US has increased the prices on the ships which get docked on the American ports from China. In retaliation, China has he has been taking some moves here and there. So they have stopped buying any airplanes or from the Boeing. They declared they will not be buying any planes from Boeing, and they've also increased some of the uh, policies against that US company. So the fighting is becoming very fierce. China has given a statement that any country which is making a deal with US is fine, but if they're making the deal at the cost of China, then China will take retaliatory measures on those countries. So now there's a lot of pressure on the countries to make us make a early deal with US. So they want to make a fast deal with US now because, see, understand the world order. Nobody likes US, but do we like China? Today, the world is seeing that China is becoming more strong than US. This nobody wants. At least US is a democracy. They are governed by some rules. There are some think tanks. There are some push and pulls available in terms of their political system, which allows those kind of countries to get some confidence, get some relief going towards America. Although America is also not very friendly, but still at least better than China. So if you choose between China and America, people will choose America. They will not choose China. And that's advantage now which US will possess, and there's a disadvantage now which China will not possess. China is looking they're trying to look very strong. They are sure, they are saying that their foreign ministers, there are a lot of statements which are coming. They have told that no, America will not be only move towards America. They are treated respectfully. They have been complaining about in the WTO against the US, and they are taking some. The Jinping is going to Vietnam and other countries to have a strong deal. But even where Vietnam, which is a communist country, and by you know by the type of order they form the same community. They're also a communist country, but they are also more comfortable making a deal with US. The statement which has come from Vietnam unofficially is that they are more inclined towards China, towards US. The reason is their trade with US is much stronger, and they don't want to take an economic war with US. So Vietnam is also not inclined towards going towards China. They are more inclined towards going towards US. That's the thing. Europe will also be afraid from China, although they have now in dilemma because US is as of now not giving any weightage to Europe. But Europe, on the other hand, has given a seventh consecutive rate cut. So they have done the seventh rate cut now, last Friday. So which means that they are into that rate cut regime. They are into increasing their fiscal deficit. They are into spending spree, which means that Europe should get some money from here on, and those markets should look resilient going forward. But as far as the making of deal is concerned with US, that is not happening. US is still doing a wait and watch game with Europe. They're trying to make a deal with Russia. They want to come close with Russia, and then they want to come close to Europe. That is what the tactical and strategic alignment of US is going forwards. India, now JD Vance is the number two of Trump, right hand man of Trump, is here today, and probably he will be discussing those trade deals. I think the foremost message he will try to give to India is that increase your increase your exports, increase your industrialization, become China plus one, become alternate to China. We are all here to support you. Take it from me, India will emerge as a very big winner out of this tariff war. This is what I've been telling you from last 1 or 1.5 months. Like India came out to a strong winner from COVID, this is another one area now India will emerge as a very big leader in terms of global exports and global markets going forward. People will try to make distance from China. See, the way they have sold the dollar, the way they have sold the bonds, and the way they've stopped the precious metal export to America. They've also told that they will not be buying any liquefied, LNG gas also from America. They've stopped doing that as well. So they are trying to, twist America as well. And it's not that America is only having the upper hand. So world is becoming vigilant to all these things. They know what they've done to Bangladesh. They know what they have done to Sri Lanka. They know what they have done to Nepal. They know what they have done to Pakistan. So all the countries which have come closer to China has only burned their fingers. They've only lost. As a vis-a-vis America, which have led to a whole round world growth. Don't forget, US has maintained a fiscal deficit for so many years just to fuel the growth of other countries. So they were printing the money, they were doing the fiscal deficit, and the world was taking advantage out of it. That is why the trade difference became so big, right? So actually, America was feeding the growth of other countries, right? China will not do that. They want everything to be sucked into their horizon. They are very ambitious people, and they want growth at any cost. They can take any measures to take growth, and that is what the world is not with China. And I think India will turn out to be a very big winner. Now, what will happen in the world order going forwards? See, as I told you, the allies are getting realigned, the allies are getting reshifted, the trade deals will happen differently, the world order will change, the supply chains will change. Now, the biggest supply chain change which will happen now is a lot of products will come into India in a semi-finished form, and then India will do the final finishing of the products, and then made in India stamp will probably go to the US. This is what China has to do now. This is what other countries have to do now because of the differential in the tariffs. And I'm not saying the tariff will settle here. See, as of now, the last regime of Trump, what he has done is he played a tariff war there also, although it was only with China, but around 2.5% tariff overall was higher, or let's say levied on China. Now he has kept the base tariff at 10%. So now all countries will have to negotiate between 10 and whatever tariff has been put. So for example, India pay tariff 26% and the base rate is 10%. So now the difference, or the let's say that the tariff will settle anything between 10 and 26%. So let's say it settles around 15%. Likewise for other countries also 10% के ऊपर ही shift जो बनेगा वो बनेगा. So ultimately now US will actually get tariff money above 10% from all countries. That is for sure. This money will go to US in whatever form you're saying, it will go there. And India, as I told, will have a beneficiary in terms of finished product coming into India, supply chain will change, and India will gain a lot of in terms of electronics, a lot of manufacturing, industrial-led things. The trade which was happening on a higher amount with China probably will slowly shift towards India. That is going to happen. It is bound to happen. China, on the other hand, has to change their way of running the economy. They were now export oriented, and that was not the right way. They cannot be export oriented to such an extent that your dependence on export is so high. Because anytime any country, if they stop doing your export, you will get a hit. That is what is happening with China. They have to now turn their economy towards consumption. They have to make the internal policies in such a way. They have to give all those soaps. They have to give all those momentum in the economy, those kind of tax cuts, etc., so that their consumption goes higher and they are able to revolve the economy around consumption, which probably like India is doing. 85% of the economy is run by internal domestic growth, it's consumption oriented. US is doing that. They're 85% of the, or let's say 70% of the trade, or let's say 70% of the economic activities coming from the domestic consumption kind of things. China also has to move towards that. They can very well do that. It's nothing that China will have a bad time at all. It's nothing like that. They have to give those kind of stimulus in the economy, and they have to reduce their dependence on the exports. See, China, when they were becoming a leader in sports, they earned a lot of money. They got an economic surge. And what they've done with this money is they have bought a lot of assets in the countries. So they have bought assets in Nepal, they've bought assets in Pakistan, they've bought assets in Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Africa. They have bought a lot of assets in Africa. So वहाँ से also they will start getting income, and they will also be doing exports from those countries. They have units in Ireland, they have many units in Vietnam, Mexico, Canada. So China has invested their money in around the world. They were knowing at some point of time this economic situation will come. There will be some kind of this kind of war, so they have already prepared themselves, and they have now income bases in many parts of the country. So China को फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला, यूएस को भी फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा पॉइंट के बाद. जैसे ही उनका चाइना पर एक कंप्यूटर क्रिएट हो जाएगा, those trade deficits will shift towards other countries. एक ट्रेड बैलेंस आएगा. Ultimately, everybody will grow. US का deficit कम होगा. They will get this income out of tariffs, which will in turn increase their tax cuts. They want to do corporate tax cuts क्योंकि उनका fiscal deficit कम होना शुरू होगा, उनका money printing कम होना शुरू अगर होता है. So this all benefit will go to the users जहाँ पे वो tax cuts देंगे to corporate companies, and with dollar index coming down, dollar rate coming down, they will become more competitive in terms of exports. तो ये सब world order धीरे धीरे shift होगा. Coming back to the Indian markets, excellent market, excellent. The way the FIs are doing their buying, I mean, phenomenal, just phenomenal. और हमने ये बात बार बार करी थी 22,000 से 21,700 से 22,500 से. हमने कई बार कहा था कि मार्केट India will not stop from here. India is looking extremely good. The way RBI has done all those stimulus measures, the way the budget was announced, the way the government is taking actions on tariff, the way the negotiations are happening with US, the way the world order is shifting. There is no other country. मैंने बार बार कहा था कहाँ जाएंगे यहीं आएंगे, कहाँ जाएंगे यहीं आएंगे. I have told this number of times, I repeat this number of times, and this is what is happening. So India is the first country who have erased all the losses of their tariff war since 2nd April, and we are much beyond that now. we're much beyond that. In fact, we are higher than now even our budget highs, या जो आरबीआई गवर्नर का जो कट आया था, फर्स्ट कट आया था, बजट आया था, उसके ऊपर जा चुके हैं. नाउ द मार्केट्स आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स 2500. आई थिंक एक्सपायरी उसके आसपास होनी चाहिए. फ्रॉम देयर ऑन विल सी हाउ मच स्टीम इज स्टिल लेफ्ट इन द मार्केट्स. थोड़ा थोड़ा मार्केट यहाँ से साइडवेज होना शुरू होगा. 24,500 के बाद से थोड़ा सा मार्केट साइडवेज होगा. उससे थोड़ा डिप भी आए, थोड़ा प्रॉफिट बुकिंग भी आए. एंड देयर इज नो हार्म. आई टोल्ड यू आई बुक माय प्रॉफिट बिकॉज इतना ह्यूज प्रॉफिट्स हुए थे कि you get chanted towards booking all those things. Actually, your trading positions, your investment positions are still continuing. My investment positions are still there. The positions which are taken in the stocks are still there. Those are giving good benefits. Those are different. But you take your trading strategies. Sometimes you have to take your calls in overall perspective of risk reward basis. So my risk reward basis was very good. I could actually caught the bottom this time. तो अच्छा reward बन गया. It was making sense for me to come out of the market. So आई थिंक ओवरऑल द मार्केट्स आर लुकिंग एक्सट्रीमली गुड. एफआईएस की बाइंग यहाँ से भी है. मेरे को लगता है ये मार्केट एक्सपायरी तक 24,400 24,500 जाना चाहिए. वहां के बाद हम दोबारा रिव्यू करेंगे अब उस पर कितनी स्टीम बाकी और क्यों. देन यू टू रियली एनालाइज व्हाई द स्टीम इज लेफ्ट एंड व्हाई द मार्केट शुड गो फर्दर फ्रॉम हियर. सी दिस इज अ रिवेंज बाइंग व्हाट इज हैपन. आपकी एफआईएस ने इतना बेचा है इंडिया को. दे हैव सोल्ड सो मच, दे गॉन टू अदर कंट्रीज. बट जब रिवाइवल दोबारा स्टार्ट होगा दूसरी कंट्रीज का, फॉर एग्जाम्पल यूएस, फॉर एग्जाम्पल पर्टिकुलर, तो दोबारा मनी वहां शिफ्ट होगा. बिकॉज यहाँ पे अब आप उस लेवल पे पहुंच रहे हो जहाँ पे आपकी वैल्यूएशंस रीजनेबल धीरे धीरे होते जा रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल बैंक निफ्टी वाज ट्रेडिंग एट अ डिस्काउंट इन टर्म्स ऑफ 10 इयर्स एवरेज. वो डिस्काउंट पे था, अच्छा डिस्काउंट पे था. तब हमने कहा भी था, मैंने एक शॉर्ट पे निकाला था कि निफ्टी बैंक इज गोइंग टू 60,000. इट इज एक्सट्रीमली अंडर वैल्यूड एंड यू शुड बाय. इट वाज जस्ट अ लो लाइन फ्रूट गुड. Everybody could have taken. So financially looking so good at that point of time. So those levels have come now. I don't think now the market should take any breather from here. It will take some breather. Market will become sideways now. It will take some breather. But अब हमको देखना है 24,500 के ऊपर मार्केट में कितनी स्टीम बाकी है. Why the steam is level. See, IT is still performing good. IT result I mean, Infosys result was not good at all. Degrowth था. I think they got constant point was up, but by 2-3% in terms of quarter on quarter basis, but YoY basis was a cut. क्योंकि guidance cut हुई है. Now they're giving a guidance, revenue guidance of only 0 to 3%. पहले वो 5% तक था. So they have decreased their guidance. US is getting pressure in terms of their growth. They are seeing, many people are seeing recession in US. But IT stocks are surprised होंगे why it has still moved ahead, because IT stocks के अंदर 4 to 5% का dividend yield अब बन रहा था उन prices के ऊपर. जिस तरह से वो स्टॉक टूट गए थे, जिस लेवल पे वो स्टॉक आ गए थे, वहां से एटलीस्ट 5% का डिविडेंड यील्ड बन रहा था. सो अगेन इट मेक्स सेंस फॉर यू. सो यू आर गेटिंग एफडी में 7% एंड नाउ यू गेटिंग डिविडेंड यील्ड इटसेल्फ 5% एंड नाउ यू गेटिंग एट अ चीप लेवल. वैल्यूएशंस आर बिकमिंग अट्रैक्टिव. सो दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई कि आईटी के स्टॉक में आपको बाइंग नजर आई. अगर आपको वो लेवल दोबारा मिलते हैं, उससे कम मिलते हैं, दिस इज द लॉजिक यू शुड अप्लाई. व्हाई आईटी स्टॉक्स विल लुक गुड फ्रॉम हियर ऑन? बिकॉज of the dividend yield. TCS अच्छा dividend देता है 4 times in a year. Infosys gives you 3 or 4 times dividend. Wipro buyback करते रहते हैं. They are doing a lot of dividend paying stock. HCL Tech is dividend paying stock. और ये cash rich stocks हैं. And don't forget their margins are still about 20-22%. So एक ऐसी इंडस्ट्री जिसका ऑपरेटिंग मार्जिन आज भी 25% के ऊपर है. The massive cash flows. See, they are still generating a lot of profits. And those are all cash. So the excellent amount of cash. So when you're sitting on cash, your FD income, you see, if you're investing that money somewhere, you will never keep the money in cash. It has to be invested either in buybacks or probably in buying some other companies for your inorganic growth. Or let's say you are trying to give dividends. So there are 2-3 things which actually make these companies, or you're investing that money somewhere to get more benefits out of it. Even if FD also, you're getting 7% income. So जब इतना बड़ा कैश फ्लो होता है और डिविडेंड यील्ड होती है, तो वो कंपनीज अट्रैक्टिव हो जाती हैं. एंड दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई यू गेट सम बाइंग इन Infosys and other tech companies today. As Tata Lexi has given a good result. Result उतना अच्छा नहीं था, but deal wins बहुत अच्छी थी. That is why the stock has went 10% up. Dealing बहुत शानदार थी उसकी. HDFC Bank has given you splendid set of numbers because of the deposit rate growth. PAT growth, their asset quality is phenomenal. मतलब 1.33% का आपका NPA है, मतलब as good as no NPA. Even ICICI Bank, which is giving so much loans, they were into unsecured loans as well. Their NPA is just 1.43%. So आपके banks के NPAs ही नहीं है. Only disadvantage or the only thing which I didn't like in ICICI Bank result was the loan growth. जो हमने बार बार बात करी थी कि जो पिछले क्वार्टर के रिजल्ट आए थे वहां पे क्रेडिट ग्रोथ 11% तक ड्रॉप हो गया था. एंड दिस ईयर इट इज एक्सपेक्टेड कि दैट क्रेडिट ग्रोथ विल रीच टू 30%. तो आईसीआईसीआई बैंक का 30% आया है, but it is at 16 quarter low. We want the credit growth to again go to 17%. So the recovery is being shown in the economy by the banking results also. That is the reason why we're seeing such kind of a ferocious move in the banking index. और जो कमेंट्री थी, चाहे वो एचडीएफसी बैंक की हो चाहे वो एनसीसी बैंक की हो, द कमेंट्री वाज स्टिल गुड. निम्स में थोड़ा प्रेशर आएगा गोइंग फॉरवर्ड बिकॉज जैसे जैसे जो रेट कट्स हैं पास ऑन करंट सिस्टम के अंदर, तो इनिशियल 3-4 मंथ्स में वो आपको निम्स प्रेशर दिख सकता है. बट इन दिस क्वार्टर नो प्रेशर ऑन निम्स एट ऑल. निम्स एक्चुअली गिवन यू अ बेटर रिजल्ट. दैट इज द रीजन द स्टॉक्स हैव मूव्ड सो मच. जो निम्स की एक्सपेक्टेशन थी वो डेफिनेटली बीट हुई है एंड विद गुड मार्जिन. So banks from here on, I think they're looking very good. There's no doubt at all that banks are looking very good. And then banking index का जो weightage है वो 40% है आपको निफ्टी के अंदर. तो बैंक चलते हैं तो निफ्टी अपने आप चलता है. और मेरे ख्याल से ये जो weightage है financials का निफ्टी में, it will further increase. शायद आईटी का शायद उतना ही रहे या कम होता जाए और financials का और बढ़ता जाए. Will not be surprised at all, at all. So be very vigilant of this fact. Otherwise, as of now, market में कोई नजर नहीं आ रही दिक्कत except for the only parameter which is troubling us. The crude is not troubling us, bond yield is not troubling us, dollar index is not troubling us, rupee is not troubling us, any other thing is not troubling us. The only problem is the war between US and China, which is not slowing down. US wanted कि China शायद एक डील करने आगे आएगा, but they're not showing any enthusiasm to go forward with the US. They know if they show too much of enthusiasm, their bargaining power will lose. I mean, US will try to dominate. So who brings first? Problem is that. Let's see what it happens. But as of now, market looking poised. जो हमने पहले बात करी थी, वो targets हमारे achieve हो रहे हैं. We have already touched 24,200. We'll be moving towards 24,500 now. And let's see after 24,500 market में steam कहाँ बचा है, किन pocket से बचा है, क्या निफ्टी यहाँ से बढ़ना चाहिए नहीं बढ़ना चाहिए. All those things to be discussed in the videos to come by in the forthcoming days. So this was the analysis, and don't forget this analysis has been done at 1:15. So whatever I've told is all up to 1:15. If anything happens beyond that, we'll discuss tomorrow. So with this, I'll end my analysis for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much.